Good morning, trippers. It is time. It has been way too long. I need to get back into the park. So, you'll notice I'm not in my car, nor am I in the park. I'm going to a bus station. Doing the trip very differently this year. A lot more stuff this year. I think my base weight is about 63 pounds, and that's not including the food barrel. This year, I'm not going solo.
I'm Bob. I'm a goldfish, and a goldfish has a favorite. I'm Bob. I'm a goldfish. I ain't Bob.
Alright, so here we are. This is the four of us setting out on our loop, and there are other loops going as well. Right. This will be my first large group venture with the Scouts Canada today, all next week actually, and we're headed off to a very special spot. This is the Shaw Lake access point, and those who follow my channel will remember that this is where it all began. Okay, I gotta go out. Well, we are at the campsite now. I didn't take any video sort of getting to the campsite, and we had quite a time. So we made it to our spot and booth. And we ended up checking out 6 or 7 campsites before we finally landed on this one. They were all occupied. But now everyone's just kind of... Everyone's just kind of settling in. My hammock is back there. Yeah, so we have a group of 8 here. So we have 3 scouters, 5 youth. We're on the advanced trip, and so we're putting out a lot more miles on today. It was a long day getting in here. We never really ate supper till about 7 o'clock. It is just after 8, and I tell you, I'm ready for bed. So we're gonna call day 1 quits for now. Well, here we are in the hammock for the night. It's been a pretty good day. We had a tough time finding a site. This is probably the 7th or 8th site before we could actually get out of the canoes and set up camp. And I made for a late night. It was cold and it was kind of windy and the bugs were bad and kind of all the stuff that makes for an unpleasant journey. But you know what? We made it. We seemed to be a pretty tough bunch. And then we had a great supper of some burgers, and I found the group dynamic really sort of helped shake the melancholy hour too. I know if I came here under those circumstances by myself, it would be a pretty miserable time, but no, we're all good. So, looks like it's going to be a beautiful night. If I have to get up in the middle of the night, I also brought some binoculars. Get a look at the stars, but hopefully I don't have to get up. Good night. Good morning from the hammock. Well, it is about 8 o'clock or so, I think. I was up a little earlier, but yesterday we collectively decided that we're going to sleep in today. We don't have a whole lot to travel. We have less to travel today than we did yesterday. And we started yesterday at 2 p.m. So, sleeping in it is. So, But it does sound like everybody else is up now. So I guess that counts as their sleep-in time. Hello, trippers. Here I am in the hammock again. It's going to look like all I do is sleep. We had a very long day today. We went from Booth into Mole into Gata. And I'll tell you, the portage from Mole to Gata was absolutely ridiculous. It just comes, I think it has like an 8% grade for, I don't know, a couple hundred meters on one end and a 12% on the other end. And, oh my God, it was just awful. And did I mention I overpacked? I wanted to make sure we had entertainment and stuff for, downtime. But so far, it hasn't been an issue. So I'm just taking a rest in the hammock. Everyone else is just kind of chatting and visiting, having a good time. We had a steak dinner. I did the steaks on the campfire tonight, and most of them like that. We paired that with a stovetop stuffing, which is just a really awesome combination. When you've had a long, hard slog to get to the campsite. Yeah, I'm gonna go pump. So I'm really just kind of sheltering from the bugs. Yeah. The horse flies are really bad today. Or deer flies or whatever. The big nasty flies that bite through your socks. I'll see you around. So yeah, it's been a good trip so far. We're at the end of day 2. Having a pretty good time. I'm enjoying being out here with everyone. So just a little bit on how I ended up with these bunch of weirdos. My daughters are in Cubs, and I decided I wanted to sort of help out with the overnights and stuff, kind of make it easier on them. And after so many times of doing that, next thing you know, I'm wearing the red. So I'm a scout leader. Yay me. A couple of downsides for the trip. I don't even know if they're downsides. They're just something I'm not used to. So someone else planned the route. Someone else planned the meals. I had a fair amount of input. For example, we came to this area based on my recommendation. But I never actually got into this lake when I was up here last. This was part of the route I was going to do, and I never quite made it. And so it's kind of cool to come back to this area and sort of have another crack at it. But still finding the time to do a little soloing. Caught a pike earlier today over on Mole Lake. Doesn't seem to be anything biting in here right now anyway. Might change baits, change locations.
Biting my ankles. Sorry, Scouter Neil, only to interrupt your pictures here.
Worse, it's a video. But I imagine if he uses it, he'll dub it.
Mute it, yeah.
Well, here I am signing off again for the night. Oh, it's been a long day. I did get a chance to do a little solo paddling after supper. I enjoyed that. And we've just spent time visiting with everybody tonight. not playing with the camera so much. But that was day 2 out of day 7. So we'll be in touch. Good morning from the hammock. Ooh, I can hear a few people up, which means it's time for me to get up. It was a good night last night. It was not too cold, not too hot. There was a very heavy mosquito presence, but it's okay because they're out there. I'm in here. Except now I have to go out there. Well, we've just finished the portage from Rumley into ryegrass, and the put in here you can see behind me is not going to be pleasant, but everyone seems to be holding their own. Everyone's doing well. I'm beat. I don't know if I got much left in me. You know, the bugs are bad. It's hot. Typical Algonquin trip. Well, here we are back on Booth Lake. It's been a hell of a time getting here, but we made it.
We're back to civilization!
Woohoo!
Real portage entries and exits.
Yeah, let's just say the entrances were so bad, I didn't bother with the phone. And we made it to our site. And funny thing is, this is the exact site we were at 2 nights ago. It makes me think, you know what? Maybe we could have stayed here for 3 nights and saved ourselves a lot of work. But no, it's been good. Now the work is over, and we look back on it now, we're already starting to laugh about it. So that's good. So I'm going to set up my hammock here. I'm going to time it. Not that I'm trying to show how fast I can do it. I'm just curious to see how long I do take to do it. And I'm going to do it at my usual pace. And here we are. Exactly 16 minutes later, and that includes laying in it and making sure that it's all good. So I know that my average time then for or my typical time, I guess, for a hammock hang is 15 minutes. All right, for lunch tonight we have, what do we have here, Neil?
Food. So, the original, I was supposed to put tuna in this instead of the pepperoni.
Yeah.
I got distracted because there's 15 things happening at the same time, and I put the pepperoni in instead with some cheese strings.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be kind of like, I can't remember the name, shepherd's pie.
Sure.
But it looks like a pile of food. I think food's going to be its title.
I'm not picky today, man. Alright, so I'm looking at my water filter here, and I've developed a crack in it. And this is the same place my previous one failed. So I'm going to jerry-rig something together using the repair kit that I brought. And some duct tape, and we'll see how that goes. And there we go. Just tape that up for some reinforcement. And added a quick release here.
I breathed out too much.
And I think we're going to be good. We'll be at least good for the rest of the trip. Okay, it is about 8 o'clock. And since we arrived late, we ate a late lunch and then had a nap. I'm having supper. Supper at 8 o'clock, and tonight is an old favorite of mine, which I stumbled upon. Mr. Noodles with beef jerky. But you boil the beef jerky in, and the beef jerky rehydrates, and you basically have little steak and noodles. It's a wonderful meal. And here we are signing off from the hammock. Tomorrow we have hopefully a lighter day than we had today. We have the 6-something portage from Booth into Kitty, and then we're going to take the portage into Bridal, and that's it for the day. Yeah, so it should be fun. We have Bridal all to ourselves. That's our site. No worries about trying to find the site. And it's actually, well, being Bridal with only one site, it's the site that I stayed on my day 3 of my first solo trip into the park. It'll be interesting to see if the site looks the way I remember it. Anyway, see you in the morning. Good morning, trippers. It is the morning of day 4. It's about 8 o'clock, and it's time to get up. Well, it's about 8 o'clock, and it seems I'm the first one up for once. I'm going to start the morning with a coffee, and just enjoy the peace and quiet. Well, it is 8:19, and I'm going to take down the hammock, and I think I'm going to time it like I did yesterday for setting up. This will be interesting. Good part of the trip plan. And here we are at 8:33, all done, including a bit of conversation with the others. So, yeah, so that's a good time. Will is becoming one with nature. Alright, so here we are, we're about to launch. The wind is sort of pushing us toward the shore. We're going perpendicular to the wind. Thought about crossing the lake first to get to the leeward side, but it seems just as bad as just doing a direct route. So we're going to do the direct route. The waves aren't too high, and I don't think it's going to impede our motion much. Be a little tippy, but we'll manage. Oh boy.
Lily's like, wait, what?
So guess who we just happened upon? This is level 2. They're coming out of the same lake we are.
Okay, everybody keep your PFDs on.
Alright, here we are on Kitty Lake. Starting to be a really beautiful day. Right, Neil?
Hey!
And it looks like we're on day 4 now, so everyone's kind of hit their stride. We've got our portaging figured out, you know.
We all know to grab snacks ahead of the portage.
We do. Well, here we are. We've made it onto our site. It's still raining.
It's just moist.
Just moist, you say?
Yeah, it's not raining.
Okay. Moist enough to make the fire challenging. And I think I'm going to remedy that here shortly. Well, here I am in the hammock again. We're on Bridal Lake. And it was raining a bit when we got in here. And, but we made do. We've had lunch. We sat around a campfire for a bit. And then I was watching the wind on my hammock, and I didn't really like how it was going. And I thought, well, I'll come over here and check it out anyway. So I got in the hammock just to see how it behaved with weight in it. And then it started raining. And I thought, well, I think I'm just going to stay here and wait for the rain to pass. Yeah, see, I don't like this. Yeah, I seem to have some issues here with my rain fly and getting dripped on through the fly. So I'm gonna have to figure something out here. I'm not quite sure what. I do have a big 10 by 10 black poly tarp I might just throw up over this. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I see. Getting dripped on. Yeah, not sleeping like that tonight. I gotta figure something out. Okay, well here we are in the hammock for the night. We had a really good campsite visit tonight. We talked about all kinds of fun stuff, and we played with the echo off the hill over there. If you remember from my first trip when I was here, I was splitting firewood, and I noted the echo that comes off of that hill, and so it was fun. Got a few pictures from the just from the rain and the sun, and just enjoyed the campsite. It's been a really good night. The weather has let up. It's clear sky, and it's about 9 o'clock, I think, and we're planning for an early morning tomorrow because we have the long portage into Shirley, but we don't know what the weather's going to be like on Shirley, and being a big lake, the waves can present a problem. So we have to cross Shirley at some point, whether we take sites in a site in the north end or the south end. We still have to get across. So anyway, so we're just going to hedge our bets, leave early, hopefully get there before the main winds of the day pick up. Yeah, so that's it. Good night.
What are you heating up?
Water. And here we are on the top end of Shirley Lake. Some of the lads have set out. It's really beautiful here.
Understand magic talk?
No,
Oh, boy.
Like 3 seconds, and I thought you were talking about.
As if you don't
patios.
understand Cascade on the Stack with the casting cost.
You know, what the hell is that?
Some kids these days, eh?
I know,
They
eh?
just don't know their magic.
No,
I have a really cool Pokemon collection.
we don't talk about
You know
Pokemon.
what? I always call Pokemon the gateway drug for magic.
I can see it.
I want to get that perfect shot of the rock, but he's not doing it. I'm gonna have to go teach him. Ooh.
I feel like all the skipping rocks are going to be gone by the end.
What if we can skip the lamp?
Yeah, you can.
What do you got there, Wyatt?
It's clear quartz. I got it from the lake over there.
Nice. You gonna take it home?
Yeah.
Right on. You get the portage out of here.
Yay.
Hunter's just blowing up. This one's for the 1200 portage. Yeah.
What's been your favorite part of the trip, Hunter?
I don't know. Probably just the swimming part. That was probably my favorite part.
Today?
Today was
You know,
probably my
you
favorite
really
day.
enjoyed High Falls too last time.
Oh, yeah, that was last time.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
What's been your least favorite part then?
just chilling.
Probably the 1.4 kilometer portage we did with all those deer flies, and that was just terrible. I hated every second of that.
Neil?
Oh, the part that I enjoyed the most, well, the level 2 fun moments to me were the log jam and the beaver dam, where we're having to, pull ourselves over all this stuff. I'm sitting there going, there's 100 things that could be going wrong here, but, I just gotta trust you guys. And then the mud bog, honestly. Like slogging through that mud, having like no clear exit to get out, that was kind of fun to me. I think that's going to be something you remember, right?
Yeah, definitely remember that. I didn't like the deer flies, but
if you come into Algonquin, there's two things you have to assume.
Bugs.
That the deer flies are going to be awful and the mosquitoes are going to be awful.
What about the black flies?
That's what we're referring to, the deer flies. Black flies, deer flies. You are going to get bit. So prepare for that.
Look at him.
Yeah, I know.
Look.
Poor Wyatt. It's just like, look at his arms. Actually, they look better already.
Yeah, they're not as swollen.
It's probably the burn that you're getting.
No, I'm scratching them off the face of my skin.
Yeah.
What do you
Thank you,
want
Wyatt.
for Christmas, little boy?
A soul.
A soul?
Your own or
got
one to
this.
have?
Both.
Anybody taking spares? Anyone got an extra one?
We're scouts. We like to be ready.
Be prepared. Just in
Got
case,
an
Second soul is
Always
okay to
remember,
have, right?
guys, one
just in
is
case you have
not-
to make a deal, you know?
Yeah.
You never know.
Make the deal with the devil, and you're fine after.
Yeah, I already have
Devil's
another
like,
one.
okay, I'm confused.
Now you owe me your soul. No,
There's
I
like
owe you a soul.
Yeah.
This is Jerry.
There's
my
a
buddy,
comic
Jerry.
strip about that where this guy, he's like a doctor and he like stole all the souls of like his friends basically, and he's making a deal with the devil, and like the devil's like, I'm gonna take your soul, and he's like, okay, which one?
Well, it is 10 o'clock and we have all been chased into bed by the mosquitoes. It was crazy. It was like we were suddenly attacked by an incredible swarm of mosquitoes. It could have been all the headlamps when we were making bannock, but whatever it was, anyway. So you can hear everyone is still very lively. Yeah, it's not because we were tired, wanted to go to bed. We were chased to bed. We wanted to stay up and look for stars tonight, but it doesn't look like the clouds are going to allow it anyway, so nothing really lost there. Anyway, good night. Good morning. Not from the hammock this morning. This morning I was up and got coffee in order, got everything packed up, ready to go. Have a bit of a headache this morning. I'm pretty sure I know where that headache came from. So I've taken a bit of space away from the campsite for a bit. That's how it is. Today we have one portage out of here into our starting lake, where we will camp one final night, and it's looking like we're actually going to get all three groups very close to each other. We may end up doing a big group campfire or something, and that'll be kind of cool. As long as I don't have to sing and chant. Anyway, see you out there. Well, here we are leaving an amazing campsite, which neighbors an amazing beach. We have a very short day today, so we're taking a leisurely pace. Well, here we are on the portage from Shirley back into Crotch Lake. This is the first portage I ever did. If you want to go back and look at that video, it's entertaining now. I had way too much stuff, and I tried to carry a small pack with my canoe, and I couldn't do it. This one here, I just took the barrel, which is getting lighter, but we've added more stuff to it, all the way from one end to the other. Now I'm going back for my stuff. Logging road. And I guess that's what 10 plus years experience does. Portaging is a skill. It's not just about strength all the time. I mean, strength and stamina have a lot to do with it, sure, but you also learn how to secure your gear properly, how to balance your boat properly, that kind of stuff. I've gotten off easy this trip. I don't think I've had to carry the boat. I think I carried it once, actually. But even when I did, it was 700 and some odd meters. I just one-shotted it straight through, no problem. Would have damn near killed me 10 years ago. This is an absolutely beautiful trail. It's, it's 1K, it's long-ish. but it's the first portage out of an access point, and it leads to a really popular lake. So this trail is very well worn, it's well maintained, everything is cut back. You know, oh, and look at this bridge. It's not just a couple of logs you bounce across, it's a solid bridge. Really nice in here. I should do more trips that don't go so far. Alright, so it is about 8:30 and we are in the hammock again. So, reason being this time is the rain has basically chased everybody to bed. Tonight's the last night of the trip. Tomorrow it's just paddle across the lake and load up into the trailer. We're heading home. My phone is on its last charge and I'm down to about 10%, so I'm going to be quick. It's been a great afternoon. We got into Crotch Lake and we met up with all three of our levels, and we did some visiting on the lake, and then we played around in the water a fair bit at the beach, and generally had a good time. And we've just been stuffing ourselves with all the food that's been left over, and just having a good time. We'll do a quick sign off tomorrow morning. Bye now. Good morning one last time. We are up early. It's about 7-ish. We have one thing to do, and that's pack up and paddle into there, and we're done. Being the level 3 group, we're making a point of showing up early so that we can have all of our stuff out of the way and be ready to receive the other 2 levels. The bus arrives at 10.